In our hidden camera investigation, we found 2 stores in Laredo which sell Mexican police uniforms. Both gun shops where, along with buying a pistol and ammunition, you can buy caps, pants, or T-shirts, all from various branches of law enforcement agencies in Mexico, from Policía Judicial Federal, the Mexican Federal Police, to PGR or PGR, Mexico's equivalent to the FBI here in the U.S., all for sale to anyone, no questions asked. Just ask the guy behind the camera.
Oh, okay.
It would have been easy, because as soon as I acted like the mannequin got my attention, the sales clerk came up to me and was asking me, I told her my size is an extra large. Would you happen to have any on my size? She said, sure, follow me. I would just have to give the money in cash, or they could use a debit card.
While there is nothing illegal about selling the uniforms here in the U.S., they are illegal to sell in Mexico. And recently, uniforms like these have been used by some criminals on both sides of the border. Drug cartels posing as police officers, all with PGR uniforms. The same type of uniform we found for sale at both Laredo stores. In fact, 8 of the 9 men murdered just across our border last month were wearing PGR uniforms. An execution-style hit believed put on by a rival drug cartel. And at least one of 3 men which kidnapped a Laredo couple out of this Southside home in April had the same policía outfits. Again, it is not illegal to sell the uniforms in the U.S., but Mexican police say it's making their jobs tough.
El trabajo nos lo hace más difícil, ¿verdad? Porque se vende a cualquier persona.
The commander of a Mexican police agency affected by criminals posing as cops says it's tough when stores sell those uniforms without a proper police ID.
Es irresponsable.
He says it may not be illegal, but he feels it's irresponsible. And a retired FBI agent agrees.
Do they know who they're selling them to? Are they selling them to police officers that are really police officers? Or are they selling them to are they asking for credentials?
The answer to all the questions is no. But the owner of the store say they're not doing anything wrong, and they're selling the caps, shirts, and pants as novelty items only. What's more, they stress the uniforms are at least a few years outdated.
They don't say PGR anymore. They say something else now.
True, in an attempt to curb corruption, the PGR and other Mexican police agencies have changed the letters on their uniforms. And getting them is tougher. But some ask, will the average person on the street know that? And if they see these uniforms in use, how will they tell it's a person trying to copy a cop? Brandon and Ann, this has been the situation in parts around Laredo from north to south, east to west. This heavy rain flooding many neighborhoods, including this one on the city's north side. We've seen some cars go by here, and in fact, if they have a low elevation, low gravity, you can see that they have the water almost all the way up to the doors. So quite a bit of water out here. I'd say probably anywhere between 2 inches in places, 3 inches. We understand up in McPherson, though, at one point around Shiloh and McPherson, during the night, there was up to 8 to 10 inches in that area. So you can see that it is a very heavy rain coming down right now, and a lot of people just going outside and kind of watching it from afar. Power outages throughout Laredo. This particular neighborhood has not seen any power outages tonight, so they're very fortunate. But again, lots of people watching from their garages tonight to see what's actually happening. You can hear some sirens behind me as some of the fire officials, some of the firefighters go out to several areas so that they can actually do some high water rescues. You can see the cars, how they're splashing right there right now. It is very deep even in neighborhoods like this, even deeper in some of the intersections which are kind of low-lying around the city. So lots of people just checking this out, seeing what's going to happen. Now fire crews are out there and they're having to do some high water rescues in some area. So they want to make sure, do not do this. Do not drive on a night like this, be it tonight or any other night, when there's such heavy rain. As you can see, these people will probably have a problem with their cars pretty soon here, because it is a horrible situation as some of the filaments, some of the engine parts get wet in some of those vehicles. So again, we're here on the north side. You can see this Volkswagen behind us, that it is very deep right there. And this is what firefighters say do not drive around. It's best to stay home in this type of weather. With missing child posters in hand, we headed to this Peter Piper Pizza for a little experiment. We put up flyers at the only entrance to see if people would pay attention. Inside a noisy pizza establishment, we set up our missing subject. How you doing? 11-year-old Pablo Cortez Jr. PJ's mom, our producer Michelle Cortez, close by.
Just start shooting from now on?
Then we set up our cameras far away. As we watched, so did Laredo police officer Abraham Diaz. What we saw was surprising even to us.
Several adults have come in and they've been talking on the phones, paying no attention to the flyers that have been posted on.
One after the other, literally dozens of people passed by, not noticing the boy only a few yards away.
What really, gets me is that those posters are at eye level.
And even though some pay special attention to the posters, no one seems to make the connection. Not even a family sitting in the table right behind him.
It's alarming and it's surprising. Maybe you should put him
Even closer?
even closer, but by himself.
So we sit PJ literally a few feet from the doors. Some people almost run over him, but don't realize he's the kid in the poster. After about an hour and hundreds of people going by, we decide to ask some questions.
Dad, there's a missing kid.
First to a man leaving the place whose kid asks him about the flyer, and he doesn't pay attention. Now, did you see the poster up here?
No, I don't think I have.
No?
Have you seen them?
Would you be surprised to see the kid sitting right there?
Is that him right there in the corner?
That's him right there.
Now that I know he's there, you can see the similarities.
When they were outside, they stared at the poster for like a good 5 to 10 seconds. When they came inside, they either ignored me or smiled or something when I said hi.
Would you be surprised if I tell you where he's at right now?
Oh, really?
He's right there, look.
Oh, that's a big boy.
It could be any child that's lost. How does that make you feel that people aren't paying attention?
It makes me feel very insecure.
Were you surprised by what happened here today?
Not only surprised, but shocked, terrifying. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's assumed that people are reading them. And by what you're doing today, we found out that that's not happening.
In fact, out of hundreds, only a few people noticed the child at all. This woman was one of the few.
Saw the child right away?
Yeah. Well, not right away. I noticed the ears.
Why are you so observant?
Because I have one right here.
So I've been guilty of it many times, and I'm just wondering now, noticing how many people really didn't notice it was him, it's going to make me want to really read everything and look around some more. And I don't want to be guilty of knowing that I could have done something to stop that.
It can be a difference between life and death.
We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Augusta firefighters here are cautiously optimistic they will get a break tonight. It's starting to cool down for the first time in weeks, and it's been raining all around us. They hope help will come from up above as this fire rages out of control.
It was going good for a while, and we got some spot fires across the line down south, and things went to heck on us rapidly, and we're trying to pick it up.
Hot shots on the fire line say it's big and getting bigger. From Sky 7, you can see just what they're talking about. A fire which actually started as two separate small fires over the weekend, merging and growing to a blaze which has scorched thousands of acres in the Jemez Mountains. Even though some 560 people, including 10 hotshot crews from New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona, are fighting it on the ground, it's a battle which many feel must be won by air.
The fire is dropped into some really large canyons with heavy fuels, heavy timber, and we're not able to send people in there.
Slurry bombers and helicopters have been grounded most of the morning and afternoon because of heavy smoke and heavy winds. On the plus side is the fact that no homes and buildings are in the fire's immediate path. Not yet, anyway.
Not the worst, mainly because we don't have threats to towns or folks directly. We do have a concern about Los Alamos, but at this time it's not an immediate concern.
A small city of tents and trucks has been set up at the Fire Command Center here as firefighters prepare for a long, hard fight ahead. The fire is not expected to be under control for at least a week, maybe longer. And even though there is rain on the perimeter around here, no relief from Mother Nature, just a little bit of spitting earlier this afternoon, and actually a setback for firefighters today because the wind kicked up and that spread the fire, and at the same time those slurry bombers were not able to take off from Kirtland Air Force Base because of the heavy winds. Firefighters tonight hoping they'll get a break, and it will rain tonight. Reporting live from northern New Mexico, I'm Tim Gutierrez, Action 7 News.